or Sam, or Mitch, or whatever you want to call him. How's it going, man? It's nice to see you again. Hope you had a nice trip.
Oh yeah, man. Today's been really good. Having lots of fun today.
Yeah, I mean, you came all the way to
Lots.
America. It's awesome.
Yeah. It was a good trip, and America's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, did you go to Disney World? I mean, you got to get Disney World before you
Nah,
leave.
nah, 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 nah. I'm not interested in Disney World, man. I gotta go see the Grand Canyon
I mean, go see
and
that
that
as
sort of
well,
stuff.
but you definitely got to go try to see some Disney World or Disneyland or something. Telling you.
Nah. I can see that anywhere in the world.
Or at least go to the Wizards Central.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll have organize a tour around the Wizards of the Coast office. That'd be cool.
Yeah, don't worry. This video is sponsored by Wizards of the Coast, so
Fuck, I wish it was sponsored by Wizards of the Coast.
I think I wouldn't have to worry about an overlay. I think I'd have a guy for that.
We'd have guys for that.
All I'd have to do is just bullshit for half an hour, hour and a half, whatever. Well, I brought you here. I was thinking, who do I want to talk to? And you were the first person that came to mind. Even though I talked
Nice.
to both Nathan and my father before you. I mean, sorry, but I mean, but the first person after them was you, guaranteed.
I was a bit hesitant myself to do an interview, so
It's
I'd
not
never
so
thought
bad.
of myself as one that would be good at interviews.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be good at interviews. You just have to be interviewed. I'm the guy that has to be good at interviews because, I mean, if
Yeah,
I ask you questions and you don't really make sense of the question, then I'm not really doing my job, huh?
exactly.
So, well, first things first. You're comfortable, right? You got I saw that they brought you a beverage.
Yes, I am drinking juice branded cordial.
I think
And that is
they actually call that Kool-Aid here.
yes.
So did you, like, bring
juice
that?
branded Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you probably that's Kool-Aid, not cordial, because
Yeah.
we don't have that here. But first things first. So tell me a little bit about your character that's playing in this new campaign. The one that I'm running.
Well, Sam, he's a halfling, and he's grown up in the church. He's grown up around the orphanage, and most of what he's done for his life is like organizing the orphanage and like cooking for the orphanage and sorting out all of like that sort of stuff with it, and like just helping everyone out around the orphanage.
Huh.
His life has been devoted to that place, and he's also really happy and energetic, and like he never really can get down or disappointed or sad. He's not one to dwell on things.
Oh. Well, one really important question I've got, and I know that the viewers have this as well. Well, what is the deal with why are you and Dustin so close?
It's all because we both grew up under Brother John. We were both orphanages. We're both from orphans.
Hmm.
We were both found and brought up by him, and we've always grown up together.
So the size matters not, as Yoda once said.
No, size matters not, and it's also really easy to get around when I'm on his shoulders.
Well, another problem that I see that you've been having, especially since you're such a lively person and upbeat person, how do you think that you could find a way to get Dustin out of his funk?
I really don't know how to get him out of his funk. I think he's always been that way. He's always been a bit depressed, a bit sad and withdrawn. I just think that's who he is.
And this most recent session, you obtained a god power. How does that work?
Well, I think I can channel the power of Brother Silence and he's the god of knowledge and the god of power. So I think I'm gonna call it matrixing out, but he's just Brother Silence kind of inserts knowledge directly into Sam's skull, and it's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out.
Um, a few, like, one question I've always had, even from the beginning of the first campaign, what is your first, like, how do you build a character concept? Do you start with stats, go to background? Do you start with...
For me, personally, I come up with an idea like Orsic is another character which I'm sure we're going to talk about later, but Orsic, how I came up with him was I want a dwarven tank. I like a really tough person who can just take a beating, and a lot of the time I get characters concepts like that, or for instance with Sam it was I want to be Samwise Gamgee, but kind of happy all the time, and that
Instead
sort of like
of
it
depressed
came
and
from
crying every time Frodo, like, smacks him.
yeah, yeah, and it's the same with Sam as well in the other campaign. Not Sam, Barry in the other campaign. I was like, oh yeah, I can take this feat and get the mobile feat, and because I'm a monk, I've already got the extra movement speed, so with mobile I could be even faster, and then I pretty much came up with the concept that he's pretty much the Flash.
So by the time this Barry character reaches level, like, what, 16, he's going to be able to move like 100 feet a turn?
I think it was about 60 or 70 feet per turn, but even then that's crazy fast.
Wow, that's insane. So getting with the character creation concept that you go by, what is the... when you build your character and you build a background...
Yep.
Why is it always food oriented? Like, every one
because
of your
I
characters...
myself, I love food. I have a deep love for food, and that's why I myself, I'm a bit chunky, I'm a bit fat personally, but like, I think it comes down to the fact that I always love food.
All
It's
right.
always a part of me. And like, I just cooked, like a whole 2 chickens worth and ate half of it before the interview.
Yeah. Well, we're we're glad that you're enjoying yourself, and now that we understand that your character is your character concept is based a lot on yourself, that is
Yeah,
definitely,
it also makes it a lot easier to roleplay something if it's closer to who I am. And that's why it's always... I've never really gone with people who are careful or people who are... careful, really, because I'm not a careful person.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes, like, the way that I look at it is that it kind of gives, because I've made the characters that I've made are considerably different than I am.
Yeah.
So I think of it as an escape, sort of, so you can try to get out of your own head and try to see things in another person's shoes. So that's why my character concepts are always trying to get as far away from one situation that I have, and trying to see it from another point of view. So.
Yeah, with me, I've never been someone who likes to do that. I've always been someone who lives who I am. I've never been someone who needs to escape. I don't use games or gaming or roleplay to escape from myself. I use it to enjoy life and bring more happiness into life and, like, that sort of stuff.
So, getting into a less of a character-based part of the interview, but what is your first experience playing the game?
Well,
Or role-playing
for
in
me,
general?
I've never really done much roleplay outside of at the beginning of this year. I decided to jump onto Roll20
Hmm.
because I've always been interested in trying out D&D and always been interested in exploring what D&D is because everyone around me, because I've played a lot of video games and been in the community for a while, I've a lot of my friends were playing D&D, so I just made an account on Roll20 and joined a few campaigns. And at the beginning of this year, I joined some 5th edition stuff on Roll20, and I've been playing stuff on there since then.
Okay. So, stating with that, so you've just started recently. Many of the players that we have in our community are very, very new to the game.
Yeah.
With you, you've jumped into not just being a member of a community, but also a leader of the community, where you pretty
Well,
much so instead of one of our one person having to micromanage the entire community. I think it helps out having multiple people, even if they're not quite as experienced as other people. It just helps out first building the community and also
yeah, and like for me specifically with D&D and helping the community, I like to be really knowledgeable on everything.
mhm.
So I really like to know the mechanics of things, and I like to be able to explain things really easily. So I spend a lot of my free time reading through the player's handbooks and familiarizing myself with everything.
And that's one thing that and the reason why I put a lot of mechanic based stuff onto you and Nathan is
Yeah.
because I am more story based. I am built around just telling a story
Yeah, you're the
instead of
creative direction.
and instead of physically managing the stats and managing this and managing that. So I
Yeah.
like to push things into a direction, and if so, you guys really help me uh, get the management of the because all the rules. Yeah, there's no way I could tell a story with intricate characters and also manage the mechanics of the
Yeah.
game.
It's a lot of work.
So I just kind of take my hand out of that pocket, and I think that helps out you guys as well. Kind of giving a little bit of the uh, team power to you guys
Yeah,
instead of
because
just
personally, me and myself, I've never been really much of a creative person, so it's good that like we've all got different roles within the community.
so that helps us. I mean, instead of micromanaging the community like some DMs do, and their community is only of 4 people. We've got a community of almost 20. Plus
It's
the
more than 20 now that I brought a few people in from my own friends around the communities.
and then plus the viewers that watch us. If you
Yeah.
would count them as well, which I do, of course, in enjoying the content that we provide, it definitely helps keeping that keeping the responsibilities not just on one person. So that was one reason that I had kind of backed off of at least DMing the campaign that Nathan at this moment in time is leading. So it kind of helps um, keep the community fresh, putting in new material, different worlds, and different situations that maybe I did not put into my campaign, or he didn't put into his campaign. So people get to
Yeah.
experience fresh new material with the fresh
It,
new world.
it, it always it's always good to get a fresh eye on things every now and then.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
some perspective.
So pretty much that's just the idea of I think that maybe at some point we may add another dungeon master, and that may
Yeah,
if the
like
community gets large enough, that may happen. If not, I am perfectly fine with continuing our campaign, our community in the direction it is.
yeah.
So
And like maybe I'll run a couple one shots here and there, or one of the other community members might step on up and say, "Hey, I want a DM for a couple sessions."
of course, and some of the countering things is that there I have built from when we started. We had myself running campaigns, and we had a small community starting out with I think 5 people, myself, and then the party. And yeah, we had one game a week where we played, in the original Heroes of Petronia campaign, and to see what is now that we run 2 campaigns a week, and we also run a podcast. We also run a live stream, and we're starting to work on YouTube as well. I think that it's really a long way that we've gone since the very beginning. So,
Yeah.
getting back to a question that I have for you. So, what is, if you were to put one point where you could say this is the greatest thing that has ever happened on a D&D campaign, where is it, and what is it?
That's a really hard question because I don't really have that much experience.
Mhm.
But one of the one of the best experiences for me, because of the reaction I got, was when I decided to kill myself as Orsic.
You talking about when you brought that golem to life?
Yeah, when I created Barry. It was such an awesome experience to fulfill the character and finish him off, because I'd always known that he'd probably run into danger as Orsic one day and kill himself.
Mhm.
So it was good to kind of fulfill the end of that character and finish him off.
Yeah.
I'm also having a lot of fun right now building a character for tonight's campaign after this interview.
Yeah, I'm interested in how fucked I and your party is. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to throw at you guys, because at this point I have to throw like a 7th level challenge rating for your level fairness.
Yeah.
But for your OP, I'm gonna have to throw like probably a 15, if not a 20 challenge rating.
Yeah,
at you
you're
guys.
gonna have to throw something crazy at us.
So, I've got a couple ideas, and I'm not 100% sure if they're gonna work, but they're worth a try. And so we're, okay, since we're now talking on this this subject of this 1-off or 2-off that we're gonna be running this week for the community podcast, tell me a little bit about the situation that not only these characters that we just created, tell me also the situation the players are in, the DM is in, and your characters in the official podcast.
Sorry, repeat that again?
I want to hear what you think the situation is for the players playing in the community podcast this week. You personally, the DM, your characters in the official podcast, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So for me personally, it's just I personally right now, for me, I'm a little bit worried as to it's just with the fact that we're making evil characters and putting them into this world that has no magic and no nothing. They're just gonna run amok and just be crazy. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, and what level do they start at? I know that they're not starting at the same level as your characters.
The characters that we built in the main campaign, they're level 1. They were level 0 for a session or 2, and then now they're level 1. And the characters we're bringing in with this, we're doing a once-off or like 2 sessions or a couple sessions or something of these evil characters. And literally, Shepard has said, let's go with max health and 95 stat points and just here's some OP shit. Have all of the OP shit into this world that doesn't have any magic, doesn't know magic. It's just, oh, at the moment it's just gonna be insane. As soon as we get in there, we're gonna be wrecking shit.
Yeah. So you don't understand. Like I put a lot of effort in building this, and I was like, what could really like the I was like trying to think of the most like sinister, evil situation to put your party into.
And the best part of it is this session is gonna be what it is. Like,
this session builds background, and now your players are going to know the shit that they have created the shitstorm.
yeah, we're gonna create the ultimate evil that our players in the main campaign are going to be up against, kind of thing. Well, like, this is some good character building and world building stuff.
And that's one of the big things that I want to emphasize in this world is that it's not all about me creating the world. It's about us building a world together. And I think building these villains, and I haven't thought of how I haven't done 100% of the writing for how you're going to meet these villains because I don't know these villains yet. And
we don't know how powerful these villains are going to end up being. So it might be the fact that it might be
die. Like I may accidentally kill them. It's just going to be a hilarious turn of events. Where...
And it could even be like 3 months down the road when our guys are powerful enough to come up against these guys, or even 6 months. We don't know how long it's going to take to.
But also, if you look at the even if your characters were to be level 20 and to meet when they meet these guys, they will probably also be level 20.
Yeah.
And your level 20 characters against these level 20 characters, it's
going to be vastly different.
This is a fight. Like, these guys are going to be level 20, 95 skill point, level 1 characters. At level 1, they had 95 points. What did you start out with, Sam? What, 80, maybe?
I think, actually, let's do...
Like, if we were to look at your character sheet...
I'm gonna look at my character sheet now. Actually, I have to bring up the thing. Okay, let's just look at Barry's then. And do a quick thing on my phone, and I'll add it all up. On Barry, he has... If my phone wants to work, he has an entire... 12 plus... Yeah, he has a whole 75 points. And the other guys have 95 straight away.
Yeah,
it's a huge difference.
So, at level 20, they'll probably have over 100 points worth of, even if they take traits. Whatever those things,
Feats.
Feats, that's it. Even if they take feats, they'll still probably have max stats and be just this reckless bunch of people. And who says that they won't have armies behind them, especially at level 20?
Yeah.
So it's definitely an interesting situation that you guys are going to go into. And okay, so personally, you think you are fucked in the official campaign, but you're also having fun in this new campaign where we're pretty much just creating super villains, pretty much like the
it's a really cool fantasy to become a supervillain, and it's not even that. It's the fact that Shepard said to us, and pretty much, I'm gonna make some OP stuff today. Here's a way to make your characters OP. Go make some new OP characters, and it's just crazy. The things... My dude is level 5. He has 105 HP and 21 armor class. It's insane.
Yeah, and you're not wearing anything. Like, you're absolutely butt-ass naked. And you have 21 armor class. So...
Yeah.
So, And I foresee that these characters, hopefully, are hopefully the characters in the in the official campaign find some pretty bitchin' magical items. Because if not,
Oh yeah.
or they don't find armies to fight with them. If they don't find
It'll
armies to
take
fight
an
with them,
army.
they won't be able to beat these supervillains.
No way.
Especially if they are able to level up a significant amount.
Definitely, yeah.
So, so now with the whole group in the official campaign, let's go to that direction. What do you think about how they are going? If they were to find even one of these guys, how are they going to interact with them, or how?
To start off with, like, I don't know, because for the first thing, I don't know anything about any of the other characters yet, and I haven't fully decided what my character's going to be, because I was just rolling creation stuff before we did this interview. So my character at the moment, I know he's withdrawn. He doesn't talk much. He's very careful with what he does, but that's it. That's all I've got so far. So I have no idea.
What was the characters in the world of the official campaign? Like
Oh,
Tinsk,
how they will react to one of our guys.
Tinsk.
Oh, Tinsk. Tinsk is just gonna flip out and try and be a superhero and then get killed.
Doctor.
Someone's
Bruce
gonna
Morgan
poke him.
Himself, Dustin even. So.
Yeah, I think with Tinsk specifically, he's gonna try and attack one of these guys and instantly get poked in the nose and just explode.
Especially the Necromancer mind flare. That'll just like boop, psionically turn him evil.
Yep.
Kill Dustin.
I think the party in general, it's hard to know because they're still quite new as well. I'm not entirely sure how they'd react to some super evil villain that just appears out of nowhere. Because we've been having some fucked up shit at the moment, and I think everyone's pissed off at the gods fucking us around last session. And I don't think... I think if something like that happened, we'd be so pissed off at him, because the amount of shit that's going on at the moment.
Well, the world's pretty much, like, coming back to life.
Yeah.
Like, this drab world that you guys are from, you know, you were farmers or huntsmen, you know, hunting deer, hunting this, hunting that. You're entering now a world that the Feywild is coming back to life. And you're going to find owlbears and you know, crazy things. You know, you just found orcs. Orcs don't exist.
Yeah.
Orcs don't exist.
Nothing exists.
All this dryad that you found last time? What is it?
Yeah, what the fuck? I got dryad knowledge downloaded into my brain from Saint Silence, and no one else believed me that we should trust these things, no matter how much I told them. And it's just an impossible thing that's happening. It's if in the world that we're living in real life, as if magic started appearing here. And it's just...
Yeah.
It's insane.
And if you... and this is a little bit of insight into your god power.
Yeah.
If you please the gods, your power will continue. And at one point, you will be able to transfer this knowledge from one character to another.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. So at some point you will be able to pretty much touch someone with your holy symbol and transfer your knowledge.
Oh, I can matrix
Dustin.
their brains instead of my brain.
Yes.
Nice.
So any knowledge that you have obtained, you can directly give them the knowledge you want them to know at that point.
Nice.
So that's a little fun thing. Now remember, gods giveth, gods taketh away. So if
I piss off the gods, they'll take away my shit.
So I mean, even though the gods did screw with your heads pretty drastically, they gave you probably the most obscene powers that you guys can fathom. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. The powers we got are really OP.
Like doctors is
as a daily power, my power, because I haven't actually stated what it is I can know full knowledge, get a crit 20 on any intelligence check I want.
Yeah. So
Daily.
it's
It's a daily cooldown. It's just.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely drastically going to change your life as a character. So and
Yeah.
then we have a character, Dr. Bruce Morgan, that can use telekinesis and lift things like he has the Force, and also we've got Richard that plays Mule. He can shoot a water ball out of his trident. So that's huge, especially with a guy that doesn't even cast magic. And then, of course, there's Nathan that has this obscenely highly powerful heal that can just pretty much heal the whole party in one instant.
Yep.
So these god powers, even at the low level that they're at this moment, are crazy. So the party's gonna freak out if they meet these people.
Yep.
The You are having a blast with making these characters, but you're also terrified in finding these people. Now, how do you think the world will be affected as these characters enter the world of Petronia? And
I'm really not sure. It'll be interesting to see how everyone reacts because magic returning, everything's just everyone's gonna lose their shit.
yeah, and that's one of the things that you'll probably have to try to calm down the people, and that's probably and now that you guys
It's gonna be hard to do.
and now that you guys have met the son of the steward, which he is much more important than you probably think right now, but he's got a very large pivotal part to play in the building of this world.
It'll be interesting to see because like the god power stuff happened, and then the shield of the God King Shepherd himself was bestowed onto us, and we got told to find the rightful king, and like who or what or how? It's just insane.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your decision to show the entire fucking world the shield of ultimate power.
Look, and okay, so what happened is we were heading towards this town or this city and we couldn't get in. We were trying to get in the gate, and because I usually play characters who are straight to the point and no, don't fuck around with shit. I just wanted to get stuff done. And the easiest way I could think of to get shit done is, here's the shield. Stop fucking around with everything. We need to get into the city now.
How did the city react to this? Because this is
Ev-
like, I lost my cool. Like, I almost freaked
I know.
out when you did that because I was like, oh my god, how would these people react
know.
if they saw this purely magical weapon of freaking greatness? And what happened there?
The city pretty much was straight away rushing us through and treating us like celebrities because they didn't know what the fuck was going on, and it was crazy magical religious artifacts.
Yeah,
It's just appearing out of nowhere.
This artifact you'll find out later on if you find the king. Yeah, it's probably the most powerful magic item in the game.
Yeah.
And it's not something to be trifled with. So,
And we were told never to touch it unless we're the king, and the meta knowledge. Shepard also told us that if anyone touches it, they just get
they will
disintegrated.
probably get eradicated.
Destroyed.
I said probably get eradicated.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that'll happen. You pretty much touching this thing will you'll find out if anyone ever accidentally tries to. And it's not touch I mean, if you
It's
do touch
wheeled.
it,
Yeah, it
if you
was wheeled,
do
not
touch
touch
it,
it.
things will happen that are probably not going to help you. It'll probably cause you an obscene amount of pain. But if you were to try to wield this, it would pretty much eradicate you. It's like, have you ever seen? I think it was, is it Spawn, or is it no, it's Blade. Have you ever seen Blade? You know
Yeah,
when the guy tries to pick up Blade's sword and it like opens up and like
definitely.
attacks them.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
it
that, but a
fucks
little
him
bit
up.
more radiant and holy than that. So a lot like that. But okay, so getting out of the fun that we're having today, getting to a more personal level. What would you what do you think is the difference uh, between what video games give you and what role playing tabletop games give to you?
Well, for me, video games, unless I'm on Mumble and unless I'm on anything like that, I'm interacting with the computer and I'm interacting with the game. Whereas when I'm in roleplay and I'm doing roleplay stuff, I'm interacting with people and I'm interacting in a social level rather than interacting on like a game level.
Hmm.
So it's that difference there where roleplay really helps me interact and do fantasy stuff, but do it on a social level rather than doing it through the games.
So do you find it that it's a healthy way to also to play games in a way that you can get what the social your amount of social that you need to sort of be a
Yeah,
healthy human being?
definitely. It helps you in the fact that you're dealing with similar mechanics and dealing with similar stuff as video games, but you're doing it while you're socializing with people rather than doing it when you're with yourself. So it really helps you be a bit more healthy in yourself.
Yeah.
It
And
really helps you interact with a community rather than interacting with yourself.
I definitely agree, and I think that uh, a lot of a lot of people that don't ever experience or don't give tabletop role playing a chance uh, probably just would have fun with it if they were to just understand the situation.
And
And
it would also help. I know quite a few people with social anxiety and that sort of stuff where I think it would help because you don't have to role play a lot. You don't have to do a lot of that. You can play a silent character who's broody and just like grunts at people. And you can still play it with a lot of emotion and play it with a lot of brevity where you can still get a lot out of it and you don't have to really be in such a stressful situation if you've got anxiety. And
yes,
then you've got the game mechanics behind it where you can jump in there and say, yeah, I already know these systems and these fantasy elements that from other games. And so you can be safe in an environment you know.
yeah, and I think that some people don't truly understand their selves until they get in, and that's where I come into my role
Yeah.
playing aspect is they can't really understand other people's point of views if they're not
Mm.
willing to step out of their own shell, the way that they think of life. And the big thing that I like to do is, and a lot of people get, it's a known joke within this podcast that I'm the American. I'm the
You're
the
the Texan.
oh yeah, sorry, I'm the Texan. So the stereotype is I'm Republican. I'm strictly like
Racist.
Southern Baptist,
Christian.
Southern
Yep.
Baptist Christian. I dip and I hate all the races except for supremacy white people, and uh, what else? What else are this? And yeah, I eat burgers and I ride my horse to school. So, but really, I probably don't try to play it off because I enjoy the joke. I enjoy trying to build the stereotype, because I understand where they come from, and it does really, it problemates, society for some.
And like um, getting back to where it's a lot of people and a lot of reason why people don't understand each other is because they can't get in each other's heads or
Yeah,
get
exactly.
out of their own head as well. And that's why I think a lot of this stuff really helps, because it gets you playing another character, it gets you playing something that isn't you, and maybe this is nothing that your person in real life would ever do. It kind of helps you get out of your comfort zone and out of your own head.
Yeah, and you understand these characters, which maybe you make these characters into people that you don't understand, or people
Yeah, like
like,
people that you hate.
and that helps you. And it doesn't have to be hate, because then you
No,
hate your own existence trying to play this character.
definitely.
But and then just make light of it, make it fun, make it an experience that you can't have in any other situation. So that's one of the reasons why I do it, and I have
Definitely.
made a character that is a lot like myself, Bravoso, but a lot of that Bravoso and that I do, publicize, is a lot of just the act of me trying to make quality content, instead of me just being, well, welcome to Shut Up and Roll, the community podcast where we pretty much just sit around the table, play D&D. But I mean, you get this voice. Welcome back to Shut Up and Roll, the community podcast where you pretty much just sit around the table playing D&D. Do you think that's real? I mean, is that
Completely
real,
different.
or is that a act?
No.
I mean,
Like it's
you can't find that out. I mean, you don't know. It could be me, because I keep that face on the whole time that I'm on podcasts, for the most part. I'm either drinking or being a bravoso, which, I mean, people probably think that's real, especially the characters that probably don't know me quite as well. But I'm really not that way at all. I actually, when I'm not doing this, I'm either editing editing the podcast, or running more videos for either my live stream, or I'm at work. So, but that's pretty much just I try to get out of acting like this bravoso, or acting like myself in day-to-day life. To give you guys a character that most people probably won't play, because they either are too much or not enough. So ending off on a pretty up note, I've got 3 questions, and they're all pretty much intertwined. The first one is, Sam.
Yep.
Why do you think that Sam received the shield?
I don't know. I think it might be something to do with his confidence in his god and his. Because the other people don't really. They're not as pious as Sam is. And Sam's really all about. Like, as I'm developing the characters, as I'm bringing him out more and deciding what he is and what he isn't. For me, I think the reason why he got the shield is because he is the most in touch and the most confident about who he is and what his god is. And the rest of them don't really know what god they're providing towards, or they don't know much about their god, whereas Sam is all about Brother Silence, all about him.
Yeah. And the idea, some of the idea is that if I give it to Dustin, Dustin's going to tuck it away and be depressed about it, or not trust the shield and throw it somewhere. If I give it to, but if I give it to the half orc mule, probably won't see that shield.
No, he wouldn't have cared if he had given it to Mule. He would have just tucked away in his pack and not talked to anyone about it.
And just grunted and then put it in his pack.
Yeah,
And then if I would have given it to Bruce Morgan, my dad probably would have came in. What do you want me to do with the shield? What do you want me to do with the shield? What do you want me to do with the shield?
yeah,
And, so I didn't want to do that because it would probably push the story too far into where I want it to go, and it's not really the decision I wanted to make. But I gave it to you first because you're the only person, other than Brother John, that will get Dustin out of his funk.
definitely.
And that is the biggest task to find the king. If you want to find the king, you've got to get Dustin out of that funk. Because I guarantee you will not find the true king.
I came to a realization about Dustin and the king, and I'll keep that to myself, though. Because I have some suspicions now after you said that.
It is going to be almost impossible to find the king without Dustin.
It does sound like it would be literally impossible to find the king if Dustin is not out of his funk.
So, if you were, that's just a little bit of insight. It's story. That's why I push so hard to try to get Dustin out of his funk, because if I don't, it's going to be almost impossible for you guys to find the king. Almost impossible. So, but not impossible. It's just going to be a lot more improbable that you guys find the king, and
that's just the story. If we can't get Dustin out of his funk, then it'll take longer to get through the story that you're trying to tell, and that's fine. That's just how our characters are going to react to the story.
Of course. And to move that forward, why do you think I used these god symbols, and why do you think I used the characters from the old campaign? And even more into that question, why is Vepra evil? Or thought of as evil?
I think it's from my perspective with the gods and why you're putting those as the gods from the old campaign and stuff like that. It's just because it's cool to incorporate the community into the storytelling and bring the community into the storytelling. Because I haven't been around long enough, I'm not 100% sure about why Vepra might be evil or that sort of stuff. But for me, the reason why you're bringing these into the community and making them gods, making the players gods, is because it's a really cool aspect of like, oh yeah, this is my character, this is everything, but he gets to become a god at the end of his life. Like, that's massive. That's awesome.
Some of the problems and I think that at first people didn't understand the certain interactions with these gods, and there are reasons, mostly dealing with Dustin's funk.
Yeah.
And some of the gods are pretty tricksters. So if we don't integrate these trickster situations, it doesn't add humor, and sometimes you've got to have a little bit of humor in there, especially when it comes to Gilreth. Yeah, he wasn't exactly how he probably would have acted, but you don't Nathan himself.
A lot has happened between last time we saw Gilreth as well. Like, Gilreth might have changed between when we see him now, which is in the future, as to what last time we saw Gilreth.
And it's been 1,000 years.
Yeah.
A lot has happened. A lot has happened, and a lot has not happened. And maybe at some point, Gilreth finds out that this dragon is a lot more good than he thinks. A lot more nature balance based. And he had to do something out of pure necessity for the protection of Petronia and the entire rest of the world that we don't really talk about too much, because some of the history is unknown to the player characters, and but known to me. And
Yeah.
the so you have no idea why Vepra could be evil.
Well, Vepra was the god of war or whatever.
She was in the campaign. She was very very calm, cool, and collected, but she was a barbarian
Yeah,
orc.
yeah. So because all of the magic is gone and war is gone and everything like that, if she's the god of a barbarian god who is ragey and that sort of stuff, even if she's calm, cool, and collected, that rage is not gonna be a place where the world is not in a place where that can exist from a god.
Yeah.
So
And,
if that happens, then you will probably become evil, or you will be not evil, but you'll be seen as evil because of who you are and
And
what you do.
what stops, like, okay, so the another big concept that these characters are gods, yes, but are they the creator?
They're not. They're closer to the Greek gods, where they're aspects of people, or they are just people who ascended. It's the same way as if like me or you ascended to become a god. We wouldn't be all knowing, all seeing, all everything, and omnipotent and stuff like that. We would just be who we are, but we would be godlike
So
powers.
say at each end there is an evil god and a good god, true like
Yeah,
creators, right? Maybe the good god is the creator and the evil god kind of like the Bible complex. Like there's
yeah.
God and Lucifer. Okay, so let's put it that way and say that there is Shepherd that stands at the forefront, at the top of the of these ascended
The
gods.
pantheon.
Yeah, the pantheon, and then above him is, and above everyone else, even the evil gods, is this this pantheon of both good and evil gods, and then below, but in another category, this evil entity, like say Sauron, or say if you were to use a another you know world universe, there's also him. And what did Sauron do to gain his power? He corrupted
He
the
Yeah.
minds of the good.
So maybe Vepra has been corrupted by the evil entity, the big bad guy.
And that's where we're gonna call it. I hope you guys had a great time. Unless there's anything else you'd like to shout out, maybe somebody you'd like to say hi to, maybe shout out for yourself, Latterstyle, whatever you'd like.
Okay, so if anyone wants to find me anywhere, just Google Latterstyle or look me up on any social media or anywhere. My name is Latterstyle. I'll be everywhere.
And also, I am Shepherd. Shepherd underscore 093. You can find me on Twitch, on Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube under the alias of Shepherd. You can also find us collectively on @ShutUpAndRoll. That is @shut_up_and roll. You can also email us at swarpodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us everywhere else at Shut Up and Roll on Podbean. And if you enjoy this interview, you can also give us a 5-star review in iTunes. You guys